Oh, hi everybody, here back at you with another video. So I did indeed manage to go to Salem for Halloween. It was super cool, super awesome. I totally wish my friends had actually come with me. They didn't want to because it was too crowded, which I thought was kind of a stupid excuse considering we've all been to anime conventions, and anime conventions, in my opinion, are a lot worse. Um, Being in Salem, the time I was, I'm sure if I'd stayed late at night, had I been able to, it probably would have been a lot more crowded. As when I got on the train and I got back to North Station, there were tons of people heading out to Salem. They actually had to ask for your tickets ahead of time before you even boarded the train, because when I got back, they weren't able to check our car for tickets. That's how full it was at the end of the night. But I went during the day, so I didn't really get all of the insanity of the night. It would have been cool to get that too, but I didn't get to. But it wasn't that bad. There were places that you could go kind of off trail to get away from the crowds if you needed to. And you weren't, unlike in many of the times when you're at an anime convention, you're inside the entire time. You're in a building. Um, Whereas this one, you're outside. You have a choice to go in the building. You have a choice to wait. Okay, it's line's too long. It's too busy in there. I'll wait. Um, so it was definitely not that bad. I enjoyed every second of it, and I had a fun time. So the first place I went to, of course, I went back to Crowhaven Corner, a little store. It's the I think they say it's the oldest witch store in Salem. It's always cool to go to. They do have psychic readings, um, and then they also have other things that they do as well. And then they sell, of course, um, cooking products and other products. I'd seen these last time in just the card form, and they didn't actually have any boxes left. They said they sell that really quickly. So I looked out and I apparently probably got the last box. Um, so I was super excited to get this because I really wanted it. So it's Vintage Wisdom Oracle. So they're Vintage Wisdom Oracle cards, tarot cards. And so it's by Victoria Mosley. The artwork on these is beautiful, which is another thing that really drew me to it. I love something that not only can I use it, but it's beautiful as well. So then it comes with different things for the different cards, so that you can interpret the cards um, and everything. And it tells you how to do different spreads as well. Um, so for different readings, I've only done so far the 3-card spread. So it'll be cool to learn different spread readings. I'll show you a couple of cards. The back of the cards are really awesome, super beautiful, and the fronts of the cards are no different. Um, and they're super gorgeous, vintage style, which I love. So I was happy to pick those up this time. As I said, it was most likely the last box. It was kind of hidden, tucked in the corner of the bookshelf. I did not see any other ones, so I quickly grabbed it. And that's what I went to the store for, to hopefully find it. So I did get that. After that, I did stop in at Wenat's one shop. It's not affiliated with Harry Potter, but damn do they try their hardest to make it look like you are in the world of Harry Potter. I will show a video clip, um, but just watch. I mean, it looks like Harry Potter. It's super cool. I love this store. They didn't really have a lot of wands left this time. They pretty much clean. Um, and sadly, the Draco Malfoy one, which I was thinking, hey, maybe this time I'll actually pick up, they no longer had. So, didn't get anything there, but again, it's a wonderful store to just walk into just for the atmosphere. So here's a clip. Okay, so we're back from the clip of Why Nots. Again, the store is super cool. If you haven't been there, you're in Salem, definitely check it out. It's super cool just for the atmosphere. So then I walked down, we continued, and there were tons of cool like sights to see. Everything. I mainly stuck to the area around the mall for the first drag of it. Last time I had headed the other way and gone down to the wharf, which meant I did a lot of antiquing last time. This time I didn't do that. I decided to step away from that for a minute. Um, but it was cool. Just walking down the strip was fun. You could see, especially seeing everybody in costume. There were tons of cool costumes. At one point, I even met a guy dressed as Snape. Um, and he looked super realistic. So I took pictures with him, and I played the traditional annoying Slytherin student who won't listen to him. So he had fun with that. And thanks to the lady who took the pictures for me, since again I didn't have Vivi with me. There's also a girl closer to the mall who had a sign that said hugs, and it said like 25 cents crossed out, 5 cents crossed out, um, and then free. And so everybody's walking by, she's like, free hugs, and nobody's like, so finally I was like, screw this, I'm giving her a hug. So I gave her a hug, and then shortly after that, I turned around and I videotaped, and like everybody was funny, like a bunch of people were giving her a hug. So it was super cool. I love seeing that. It's kind of sad that at anime conventions, you no longer can do that. Most of them, for some reason, they get really mad at you if you have a sign that says free hugs, as if you're trying to make money, despite the fact you're not. So, yeah, whatever. But I always loved the free hug sign. There were so many cool costumes to see. So it was super exciting to see that. Another cool costume I saw was an old man dressed up as an old lady with a walker, and he had a sign on it that said, "I'm lost, take me to bingo." What can I say? That's pure awesomeness right there. So I did go into the mall, and I went in for the psychic fair and witchcraft expo, which is still going on. So I was in line for that, and I saw um, the lady in the coffin experience. She was in The Last Ride. So I saw her. I'll show a clip of her. So I went into the expo after that and walked around. I definitely wanted to, because last time I'd seen there's a person doing aura photos, so I definitely wanted to do that. Um, First, I stopped at this wonderful lady, Lisa Owen of Bear Soul Studios, and I got this cool little bone skull bead. It is actual bone. I don't know what kind of bone, but it was super cool and cute. She had tons of really cool gems and crystals and minerals. So it was cool to just look at them. I couldn't afford any of them. And I didn't want to like stock up on crystals because I'd go ballistic with them. So after that, I did go over and I got my. This is the photo. Sadly, it does not want to go on screen right. But it was actually really weird. I still think it's weird. I don't know if it's that this thing just happens to be an optical illusion, the way it formed, or what happens. But it still does it if you stare at it um, long enough or just watch it. But it freaked the lady out. She took the picture, so immediately kind of freaked out and was just staring at the photo. And I was like, well, what's going on? You just took the picture and she's just watching it, and I'm like, is it not developing? What's going on? And then she calls her friends over and she's like, does this look like it's moving to you? Turns out, and she showed me too, and sure enough, the thing looks like it's flickering and changing shape and moving, which is bizarre as shit. I've never seen anything like it. It still does it. When you look at it, it seems to like change colors, seems to move. So I don't know if it's an optical illusion or what. I don't know if camera will pick up that. I may hold it for a while and see it. Does anyone see? Is it, I'm trying to try and not get light glare. But does anyone see? Is it moving? Is it changing color? Do you think it's a locked optical illusion? What do you think's going on? But I thought it was cool. Nonetheless, I can say I got my aura. It was also cool. She gave a little booklet that says what the code means. That was the very first one. So orange, the second, or navel chakra. Orange is the color of success, energy, balance, enthusiasm, warmth, vibrance, expensive, flamboyant, demanding attention. So it does fit me. I was definitely having a great time then too. So I definitely knew that I had a feeling it was going to be either like a red or orange or a mix. So that's what I got basically. And then her friend was selling candles and other things. One of the things I got from her was a smudging stick. I have been needing one. I thought this one looked really cool, even though it is kind of more like a cheaper one made in Indonesia. It's still really pretty. I love beadwork. And it was in my budget, so I really needed one. So I was like, you know what, why not? So it's super cool. And then I also got this guy. She had a whole bunch of candles, of skull candles. There were bleeding ones, and then there were regular ones. Um, so this one, apparently, even though it looks like it's two colors, should be the bleeding one, didn't have curved B underneath, so I got it for that price with the regular one. Not sure exactly if it is a regular one. It might be. Doesn't look like there's enough of the color that it would actually like bleed more color like the other ones did. But it's Candles by Stevie. So you can see their thing. So definitely check them out. She had tons of. She's a Facebook and an Etsy, and then she's a website candlesbystevie.com. And the candles are super cool. She was selling me, you can burn it all the way, and I was like, how dare we? why would I burn this? It's just too gorgeous to burn. So it's just gonna be an ornamental candle for me. Yeah, if I could afford a bunch of them, maybe a good one. But as it is, I'm just gonna use it as a ornamental. Also in the mall, I stopped at so also actually before that, I did go to the last ride, and I did do it. It was super fun. I'll show a clip. But after the last ride, you get an awesome death certificate. Um, so there we go. I got a death certificate. Sadly, in the video, you cannot see my face. I was shifted too far over, and they didn't tell me in time before they started. But the lady was really cool, and she did videotape it, so I'll show that. Um, but yeah, she was super cool. She videotaped it, and it was a really cool ride. It wasn't really scary, especially because they have more like a comedy kind of aspect to, especially the beginning with the people driving the hearse, um, calling you like a fat bugger and um, like a fat one or whatever, and just making stupid like dead people jokes and whatever. So it was kind of funny in that aspect, and then it was just a lot of bouncing and everything. And so it was really cool. You're in this dark space, you really can't see much, but you're bouncing around. And I had a blast in it. I thought it was super cool. So I did that. Then after that, also in the mall, I decided to go to Lotus Gifts because I go there every single time I go. and they had a sale, so I got this beautiful jacket. Um, so there's that. There's the front, and this is the back. I had grabbed this one because it was the only one out front. It was a small, and I was kind of wondering, okay, is small gonna fit me? So I was asking if we could look at the mediums, but we decided to try the small, and I'm pleasantly surprised it fit perfectly. So yeah, the first one I saw fit perfectly, so that came out great. I got it for a lot cheaper. It was like I think originally I got like $10, 10, $15 off the original price, which was great. And then I got a little nickel beckoning cat. I got the white one. You get white cream or gold. I just stuck with the white. Sadly, according to the box, it says you're supposed to get a battery in the box. There is no battery in the box for me, so sadly it does not work yet. But yeah, basically it will just look at this. And it's super cute, little baby kitties. So can't wait to put batteries in that. Let it go. According to the box, it says that the batteries do last a while, so which is a good thing. And then I can always take the batteries out when I don't want it to be reckoning, but save battery. So that was it for that. I did stop at another store outside and pick this guy up. So it's a cool stoneware. It's actual stoneware, which definitely feels like it. I just loved the dragon foot carved thing. Apparently it's M. Penna. She says, drawing on a lifelong study of animal behavior, anatomy, and three-dimensional art, master sculptor and Penna is well renowned for creating exquisite, detailed mythological creatures. And then, so basically, this is a same quality reproduction of one of her sculptures, cast in natural mineral stone and hand painted. It's produced in with Hollywood, California studios. So it was super cool. Definitely need to get a nice candle for it. Because sadly, the candle I did get doesn't really look that good with it. But yeah, definitely will get a nice pillar candle for that one. Sorry about that. It looks like my record player decided to randomly turn on. So yeah, so I did that. I also, of course, went through the Village Silversmith. Again, it is a gem shop, so I did not buy anything this time just because I did. I kind of like quickly ran through it to get to the street and to get, of course, get into the mall because it's a little bit easier. But I didn't really stay in there that long as much as there was so many things that I would love you to buy. Gems are a dangerous thing for me. Same with antique shops, which is why I didn't do the antique shops this time. So after the mall, I did go out and I stopped at one more store down the strip, which was the Magic Parlor. I've gone in there multiple times all over the place. And I'd seen that they had files, which I definitely need for my crafting. So I got basically all the files that they had in the box. So I got a whole mess of those this time. Didn't get anything not like anything fun. It was just crafting related. But again, the place is super cool. I do have video of the store as well. It's a super cool store. When you enter, it's amusing. The little sign on the candy machine um, for the kid who broke the candy machine. So it's a fun place to go into. There's always a line to get in, but it's super just because it's such a tight shop. But it's super cool to go into. So I'll show a video. So yeah, after that, I did go down to the cemetery. I love going there. So I did take video of the cemetery as well that I will show. Um, and after the cemetery, actually, I will say it was weird being at the cemetery because they had set up a carnival just down the way. So while you're in the cemetery, you hear people screaming on a roller coaster, and you can actually see them on a roller coaster screaming. So it's just really weird juxtaposition of that. But so the cemetery wasn't as quiet as usual because you hear screaming from the carnival. Um, did not go to the carnival. Kind of was debating on going to it. Ended up deciding I didn't have enough time at that point, and my battery for my phone had died, and I needed to quickly charge it before I had to leave and catch the train. So I sadly did not get to check that out. Kind of wanted to. Maybe next year I will check it out. There's also a bunch of other things that I would love to check out, especially some of the night things I would love to be able to check out. So maybe next year I'll have a car, or one of my friends will be willing to go with me who has a car. So definitely that. But I did go to 3 attractions. You got your pick of 3 attractions for $20. So you ended up saving more money. I did. So I did the Witch Village, Frankenstein's Castle, and the Wax Museum. The Witch's Village, I do have a little quick video. As you can see, you cannot see much, but it was cool. Um, as much as my camera didn't pick up much, the lighting was pretty decent. It was foggy, and you could see the light. You could at least see people jumping out at you. There are these two ladies that are behind me that went in, and they were terrified from the get-go, and it was quite hilarious to hear them screaming. And at one point I felt really bad because I happened to feel a jiggle. This guy about to jump out. I was about to warn them, but before I could, he jumped out already. So they were yelling at me like, "Why didn't you warn us?" But yeah, it was super fun. I enjoyed that one. Then next I went over to the wax museum. Um, while waiting for things to calm down a little bit, they do have this little cool grave store rubbing activity for kids, and there are a bunch of adults doing it of course too. So the chalk they don't have a lot of they didn't have a lot of crayons. I think they had like 2 crayons for a set of like 4 um, things that you could do, which was sad. So I ended up stopping and giving mine to a little kid because I felt bad. And they didn't work that well, but they were cool. So this is one of them I did. And I did this one. My camera had unfortunately, my phone had unfortunately died at this point, so I couldn't get actual pictures of what they're supposed to look like. But they're still kind of cool, nonetheless. As I said, the rubbing stone thing that they gave you was not really good for rubbing, so you couldn't get a good image out of it unless you like really worked really hard at it, which most of us did not have the time. Those were fun nonetheless, so I did that while waiting. And then I went in, the line seemed to have died down, so I waited in line. I went in. The wax museum was super cool. It was really eerie, stark, and of course, wax figures are just creepy in general. I would have loved to have been able to get pictures of them. So I'm hoping to go back, do it again, and get pictures of them just because they are really creepy looking, but at the same time, really cool. At the beginning, they do have a little display of the process of the wax figures and how some artists actually used actual death casts to do their modeling, and others used just science, um, looking at pictures, recreating what this person might have looked like, or what this person looked like in a 3D sense. But it was definitely cool, a lot of history learnt. So it was really cool to just read the different things. It was definitely interesting that there was this one woman, I can't remember her name now, but she escaped the Salem witch trials because she was pregnant, and her pregnancy happened to just be at the time that they wouldn't hang her or anything until the baby was born. Well, because the baby was born too late, by then the hysteria had calmed down, so she ended up escaping. And it also talked about how the whole thing basically came to a halt when some really high up people um, who were in charge of everything and their wives were accused. And that's when this guy was like, no, 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 no. How dare you accuse me and my wife? We are up top, way above you. And that's when they ruled that the spectral Hoodad stuff was not, um, couldn't be used as evidence. Because before then, it was basically dreams and stuff like that were used as evidence, um, which kind of sucked because there was nothing you could do to defend so-called visions and dreams. So yeah, it was definitely a horrible time. You also learned a little bit of the history of the trade in Salem. and about the pirates and stuff like that. It definitely would be cool to check out the pirate museum. I did not do that. Um, but I think next time I would probably try that one. That one, I think, just would be cool to learn about the history of the pirates in Salem. Because again, you had trade, so you had pirates who wanted your stuff. So the next one I did, as I said, was Frankenstein's Castle. I was heavily disappointed with this one. Me and there were a couple other people in front of me and behind me that all went in at the same time. None of us were scared, other than this one poor girl at the very end, which I will explain. But throughout the thing, from the very beginning, you walked in, the lights shut off, so it was pitch black. You couldn't see anything. And then that was the time, for some reason, that the people, I think we were only jump scared like 3 times, and every single time it was so dark because the lights had turned off that you couldn't see them. So they couldn't be scary when all you can hear is, I'm here. Them trying to be scary. It's like, it's pitch black. I can't see anything. If I could kind of see something, then it would be a little bit more scary. But it was mainly just us sitting there going, okay, we can't see. Okay, now the lights are on. Now we can see. Okay, now we can't see. So they just kept turning them on and turning them off. And then there was a really stupid, um, obviously fake, um, dummy thing on this like electrical board thing that like shook at you, and I was like, okay. It looked like really one of those really bad Halloween attractions. So that one I did not enjoy. Again, I felt really bad for the girl who was up way ahead of us. She was the only one of us who, at the very last minute, got a super huge scare. Uh, Basically, she happened to be the one that this guy holding a chainsaw kind of thing ran out after her and legit chased her as she's screaming up the stairs. But that was legit the last frickin' second. It was legit right at the exit door. Um, so the fact that the biggest scare was legit the very, very end was kind of sad. I would have liked to have had more jump scares. I would have liked to have been able to see a bit more. Especially if I would have liked to have been able to see more decor and stuff. Sadly, did not see any Frankenstein. I didn't see any Frankenstein monster. It would have been cool to have seen Dr. Frankenstein and the electrodes, like flipping a switch, or they really could have done more with Frankenstein's castle, which I didn't see anything that represented Frankenstein's castle at all, or even Frankenstein's monster. The dummy thing looked nothing like Frankenstein. It looked more like a decayed like body or something, and it looked really stupid. So yeah, that was a disappointment. The other two were great though. Definitely enjoyed the history and kind of creepiness factor of the Wax Museum, and the other one, tons of jump scares, just enough lighting, just enough atmosphere to really make it cool, which is what I loved. After that, I went down. I ended up going down to Artist Row, and there was this awesome old man playing the piano. It's kind of beat up piano, but this man gave it his all. Again, he's old, so he didn't have the best singing voice, um, but he just put his all into it. He played a couple Beatles songs for me, and I will show a video for that now. But yeah, as you could see, the man was totally into it. He was great. We all had a blast listening to him. And I hope he continues to do this until he can't, and like till his last day, because he just brought so much joy to everyone who was watching. So it was definitely cool to see that. Um, and then, so after that, that was pretty much the end of my tour. So after that, was pretty much the end of my tour. Um, so I went. They had on the green. Um, they had close to like the visitor center and everything. They had like food stands set up. Um, like they had one where you could get like fried candy and stuff like that, deep fried candy, whatever. Um, so I quickly grabbed food, um, and that was basically it for my trip. So I had a great time. Again, would have loved to have friends with me, but it was super cool even being alone. I had a great time. So I will leave you with a clip of an awesome Dalek costume. Because, yeah, Doctor Who and this costume ruled. So I'll roll this clip, and that's it. Thanks. Peace out.